If you have ever wondered how this sleeve was achieved, then you should watch this video. This picture was sent to me by a follower who was curious about how the sleeve was achieved. So this was what I made for the sake of this video, and I'm going to show you step by step how I was able to achieve this. To see more wonderful videos like this, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok. I'll leave a link to all my social media pages in the comment section. First is to ensure your fabric will be enough. Measure the width and the length of the fabric to ensure that your fabric will be enough. In fact, add to the width of the fabric. So apart from the seam allowance, you can add 1 or 1.5 inches to the width of the fabric. This is what I'll be working with, so I'll go ahead by adding gum steel to all of this, to this fabric. So I'm going to add gum steel to it, and I'm going to skip that process. After adding gum steel to it, so I folded it into two to get the midpoint of the fabric, and I'm going to rule a line on the midpoint of the fabric. After that, I'll go by marking my 1 inch interval mark on both the vertical axis and also on the horizontal axis. So this is me marking 1 inch interval. All the mark I mark here is the interval 1 inch. So I'm just marking on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I hope you can see it clearly, but that is what I'm doing on the horizontal axis. So I'm going to repeat same thing to mark 1 inch interval before I connect all the points together. So this is me trying to connect the point together. As I connect the point together, let me tell you about this application you should have as a fashion designer. The application is called StyleBit. StyleBit is an application for all fashion designer. I mean, all designers should have this application. This application will help you manage your business as a fashion designer. You can save your customers' details like their measurement, their phone number, and so more on this application. You can send invoice to your customer to remind them about any pending payment you are yet to receive from them. You can save orders on the application to know how well your business is doing financially. So you also get access to a free fashion designer community, like a group for fashion designer, where you can ask questions in case you need help. So I'll leave a link in the comment section and also in the description box to download the application. Go to the comment section, click on the link. Whether you are using Android or iOS, just click on that single link, then you get the application downloaded. Back to what we are doing, you can see I'm done with the horizontal line. So I want to mark the 1 inch interval for the vertical line. So after marking the 1 inch interval, I'm also going to do that on the upper side of the fabric. That is the middle point of the sleeve. After that, I'll connect all those points together, so I'll have like a 1 inch square all over this fabric. So this may crossing a line across the horizontal lines we marked earlier. By doing that, we're going to have a 1 inch square all over on this fabric. Ensure that your lines are straight and that they are of 1 inch square all through. So you don't want to make some 1 inch square and others 1.5 inch square. So you just want to maintain the size of 1 inch square all through on your fabric. So do that. Once you are done marking the 1 inch square all through on your first half of the sleeve, then you are going to turn to the other half and mark the line 1 inch square on the other half of the sleeve. So this is me, I'm done with the first half, you can see. So I'm going to turn to the other half, then I'm going to skip the process because I want to save time. At this point, I'm going to start marking a diagonal square, making use of 4 square we marked earlier for a single diagonal square. So this diagonal square is going to look like a shape of a kite, but it's a square and it is also a 1 inch square, although I'm using 4 square to mark one diagonal square. So I hope you can see from the camera through how it looks. It looks like a kite, but it's a square diagonally. I mark it diagonally. You keep on marking the diagonal square like this, one at a time, or you go by marking multiple at a time. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Mark multiple at a time. It depends on how you want or which one you understand better. This method is marking a diagonal square at a time, marking one at a time. So I'm going to show you how to mark multiple at a time. So instead of going through stress of marking it this way, you can just draw a long line and cross it later, then you have many square done. To mark many diagonal square at a time, you want to roll a long line like this, just the way I'm doing it. I place my ruler diagonally, drawing a long line. Instead of marking a single line, I'm drawing a long one. Then I'm going to turn the ruler the other way, then start marking diagonally. Don't worry, you get to understand this better when I turn to the second half of the sleeve. So this is me trying to start with the second half of the sleeve. So I'm going to place my ruler like this, and instead of marking a single line, I'm going to draw all through the second half of the sleeve. Then at first I'm going to have a single line drawn before I turn my ruler to the other way, then start marking it diagonally. By doing this, we're going to have that shape that looks like that of a kite. If you're still watching this video, it means we are both on point. Tell me how you feel about this video in the comment section. After drawing the diagonal square, I want to cut out the diagonal square. But before I cut it out, I would like to mark them to indicate those I'll be cutting out, because I'm not going to be cutting everything. Marking it upward on a straight line, then I'm going to skip the next line. After skipping the next line, the next one after the one I skip, I'm going to mark on that, and after the next one I mark, I'm going to skip another one. So I'm leaving a diagonal square line in between every one I mark. So I am cutting out those diagonal square, but I'm only cutting the ones I mark. So the ones I didn't mark, I'm not going to cut it. And for a single line of a diagonal square, I skip their ones in between them, which I'm not going to cut, of which I didn't mark them now. At this point, I'm cutting the ones I mark, the diagonal shape, the diagonal square I want to cut out. I'm notching them so that I can easily put my scissors in between them, inside them, and cut them out. So this is me marking, notching the diagonal square. Once you're done notching all the diagonal square you want to cut, so just look how I'm cutting this diagonal square, and this is how you should cut yours. I'm putting my scissors in between, then just cutting a straight line to all the angles. There are 4 angles in one diagonal square, so I'm just cutting straight to all the angle, but I'm not cutting everything. I'm not cutting it all through. So just look how I'm cutting it. After that, we're going to open it like this inward, and that is how we are going to treat the edge of every diagonal shape we cut out. After cutting it as I showed you, then we are going to make use of this glue gun to attach it firmly to the back side of the fabric. So there are 2 ways of doing it. We can either use gum or use sew it with our sewing machine. So I'm going to show you both way, and you let me know which way you feel is best or which way you feel is better. If you think the sewing method is better, but you think I'm not doing it well, tell me, let me know in the comment section and tell me how I can do it better. And if you think the gum is the best but this glue gum is not good enough, then let me know the best gum to use for it in the comment section. If you think this gummy method is the best, then you keep on repeating this process, treating all the diagonal and square by folding it inward. You keep on repeating this process till you have all the diagonal square treated and settled. But if you think this method is not best, or like you cannot trust gum, so you want to sew yours, then you should watch this next method. Using your sewing machine looks like this, but you should know that tagging it with your sewing machine is going to leave a thread at the right face of the sleeve, but then you can trust stitches, unlike gum that might pull out at any time. But for your sewing machine, you are sure it is firmly and well attached. So as I said, let me know the method you feel is the best in the comment section, and if you feel the sewing is the best but I'm not doing it the best way, let me know. If you also think the gumming is the best but I'm not using the right gum, let me know the type of gum I should use in the comment section in case of next time. Similarly, if you're doing the stitching method, you keep on repeating this process until you have all the diagonal shape settled. You keep on opening it like this and stitching on it, tagging it until you have all the diagonal shape settled. For the sake of this video, I'll keep on working with stitches because I want to save time, so I don't want to go through the process of gumming all the diagonal shape. Working with stitches instead of gumming, this is what I have as my final result. So this is it from the right face. I hope you can, I think you can see through how my thread on it. So if you're using gum, there will be no thread on it, while if you do stitches, you're going to see some thread on the right face of the fabric. But for the sake of time, I make use of a sewing machine. So that is all for this video. Don't forget to go to the comment section, follow all my social media pages, and also download the Stylebit app to join the digital fashion designer. Thank you.